Hello, friends. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well in this time. It's kind of still a crazy time, so I'm curious to hear how you are and what's happening with you and for you. There's a lot to tell you today related to life in our congregation, so let's start here. On Sunday, August 9th at 9 a.m., we are going to hold an in-person, in-the-building worship service. Now, we're just getting this going, and we've got to work out a bunch of kinks, and there's a lot of things yet to consider. So, if you are interested in coming to that service, I want you to call the office and they will put you on a list. Now, the truth is that we recognize that some are going to stay home and some don't feel comfortable coming into the building, and that's certainly understandable. In the building, other than my office, I wear my mask, and even that, I wonder how safe that is. So, I mean, what I'm saying is it's really important to wear it, but I also recognize that cases across the state of Minnesota are rising, and so there's a lot of questions. So sign up in the office. The service will be at 9 o'clock on Sunday, August 9th. At the same time that the service is going on in the Family Life Center, we will also have the service so that you can get it over your radio in the parking lot. It will be on Facebook, it will be on YouTube, it will be on the radio. So we're kind of streamlining efforts so that we all can be worshiping as much as we can as a community. Now, it might be the case that because of the number of people who want to come, certainly I've heard that there's a lot of people that want to come back to worship at Grace. It might be possible that it's not going to happen, that you're going to be able to come to worship every week so that it makes room for other people. But we don't know that, so we'll see. You certainly can continue to call the office and put your name on the list, but we'll just have to wait and see. Again, this is a soft open, and we're going to worship every Sunday like this in the month from August 9th to the end of the month, and then we're going to go forward from there. You can thank your SMART team who has done an enormous amount of work to make this happen, and you can thank the staff. We too have done a lot of work, and we are grateful. We know that this is a hard time, a hard thing for many, and so know that we're trying to address the needs as much and as well as we can, given the constraints of what is right now. So I hope that if you're interested in coming to worship, that you will put your name on the list, and that on August 9th we'll be able to welcome you in person. It has been a long time, and certainly a long time in coming. And for those who will meet us in the parking lot, or will meet us over the radio or over Facebook or YouTube, we'll be glad to see you too, and we will welcome you as well. It is good to be the church, and because we are the church, we are not always going to agree. And in fact, in my 3 years at Grace Lutheran, I've learned that about most things we're not going to agree. I mean, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered in any Lutheran gathering, Jesus is there, but so too are about 1,000 opinions. And so, but what makes us church is that we walk together, we listen together, we talk together, we make mistakes together, we forgive one another. This is all a part of the church. As the Apostle Paul talked about, it's the church that Jesus is in the midst of, because the church is the people, not the building. The church is the people. And the church exists. The church exists for love and care of the neighbor. Now, I know that some hear that as political, just as they would hear my lifting my mask up as political, but really it's not. Really, it comes out of Scripture. And because it comes out of Scripture, it may have implications in a wider way. But at the heart of the Christian life is love, and this love is meant for others. Something to think about. Tonight at 6:30 in the parking lot, we're going to have a parking lot service, so you should come if you'd like. We'll be there'll be a transmitter, so you'll be able to get it in your car, and I know that some will want to sit socially distanced in lawn chairs, so please know that service will happen tonight at 6:30. We hope that you're able to join us. In this time, we're really having, not just us, but everybody is having to reimagine how to be church together in our life together, and how we gather. Given that we've gathered in certain ways before, now we have to gather in other ways. So we invite you into that work with us, but we also understand that if you don't, we hope that you will extend grace to those of us who are working hard so that we can come together as community. Jesus is in our midst, and he is at work. So I think those are all the things that I wanted to say about what's going on at church for now. And I want to turn, although it's not really turning, I'm going to turn back to Scripture. And I had been doing the fruit of the Spirit, but this will be my last Wednesday devotional that I'll do with you until sometime in the fall. We'll figure out what we're going to do. I might end up doing a Bible study or something, and invite you in for that a couple times a month. I'm not sure. Kelly's also thinking about ways that she'll be present in this format come fall. So we'll keep you posted. So I wondered, as I thought about our last time together in this way, which of the fruit of the Spirit might be fun to talk about. Because it is fun. It is fun to talk about faith. And it is fun to be the church. Hold on to that. It is fun to be the church. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that. It is fun to be the church. And then pray for your church. So I think we're going to talk today about kindness. And so the reason I want to talk about kindness is I've wondered, given kind of the way things are going in the world, if that might not be something that could be useful, that could be helpful, in major ways certainly, but just in our everyday sorts of ways. And if you say, well, I'm already kind, I would say, wonderful, continue to live out that spiritual gift. But if you're finding it hard to find in your heart the room to be kind to others, let me ask you this question. When is the last time somebody's been kind with you, to you? Done a little kindness that you didn't expect. Maybe they brought walleye home from North Dakota, and they can't wait to give you enough for a meal for you and your family. Maybe it's that. Or maybe you're at the gas station and somebody opens the door for you, or they hand you something that you dropped. Or maybe you're at the grocery store and somebody says hello, or somebody waves at you. Kindness doesn't have to be huge. It can just be an everyday sort of thing. And I think if you were to pay attention, those kindnesses are there. They are there, and they're there to connect you to the world, but also to God. In some, for love could also be translated kindness. That God showed us kindness in giving us His dear Son, in the way that He forgives our sin, in the way that He hears our prayer, in the way that He offers His love and grace, especially and when we do not feel as though we deserve it. Kindness is, I hope, where we're headed in this new time. Now that we might feel kind of lonely and isolated, but there's also been space for us to kind of breathe a bit and kind of just live into what is going to be, so that when we come together in the ways that we're coming together, there's an opportunity for us to live out the kindness that is within us. As God shows us kindness, so we share it, we show it with one another. So last night, I went with Jenny to pick up our daughter at Jenny's brother and sister-in-law's house, who has a little one just 8 months older than Annika. And they didn't have to, but they wanted Annika to come over to play. And so when I finally got home, Jenny said, "Hey, we need to go pick up Annika," so we did. And what was so interesting to me, I don't know, I didn't expect this response for some reason, even though the family is lovely and wonderful and warm. I didn't expect the response to be, we really enjoyed having Annika. We'd love to have her again. I mean, just that. Not, it was okay. I guess if you need me to do it again, I'll do it. But rather, right? Thanks for the opportunity to share love and kindness and support with someone else. This is what happened in that exchange. And then our dear daughter, who is feeling really attached to the extended family right now, bawled all the way home and all the way up the stairs. And then Daddy rocked her a little. I just held her in my arms and we just rocked a little bit. And then we read together our favorite story that we read together. And the tears stopped and she was okay. But even that, right? I had a lot to do when I got home, or I imagined that I had a lot to do when I got home. But the opportunity to be with my wife, to go pick up my daughter, to comfort her in her sadness. I mean, you might say, well, you were being a parent. And I'd say, yeah, but there's a lot of different ways to be a parent. And I'd also say this, that that part of the vocation of a parent is kindness. But here's what happened. At a certain point, when I carried Annika up the stairs in the midst of her snotty crying, just ugly snotty crying. Can you say that about a 5-year-old? I guess I just did. But she went from kind of fighting it to really kind of clinging to me, because she did not want to let go, because she knew that I was going to care about her and care for her. So when all the crying got done and we were sitting together and we were giving each other one last hug, I said, "Look at me, Annika." And this is what I said. I said, "You are loved and safe. Mommy and Daddy are always going to keep you safe, and we love you." We've been saying that the last couple days because Annika's been a little on edge after George Floyd's death because of the color of her skin. And every time we say that, we're going to keep you safe, we love you, she she does this big breath out. She exhales and she burrows her head on my shoulder and she smiles and she said, "Oh, good." That's kindness. Now, maybe you've been a shoulder for others, or they've been a shoulder for you. That is kindness. Maybe you've prayed for others, or they've prayed for you. That's kindness. Maybe you've gotten groceries for other people, or they've gotten it for you. Again, kindness. The experience of the Christian life, wrapped in God's grace and love, is an experience of kindness because God gives us what we need, not what we want. Thank God, God does not give us what we want, because that would be a total and utter disaster. And that's a conversation for another day. For now, though, thank God, God gives us what we need. And He does so out of a graciousness and a love that is without end. May you know His kindness today, and may you find it within yourself, not what you've cultivated within yourself, but what God is working in you, so that you might share that with others. God bless and keep you, friends. We'll talk soon.